Homicide 1905. The case of 27-year-old Mary Ann Ross. Mary Ann Ross was convicted of the manslaughter of her 6-year-old child, Annie Elizabeth Tees. She threw it into a canal on the night of the 27th of March 1905. She'd been seen by a girl going along the canal path with her younger child in her arms, along with Annie Tees, who she was leading by the hand. She then stopped and gave the girl a brooch and said, "Keep this in remembrance of me." She then threw the children into the canal and jumped in herself. A man rescued Mary Ross and the younger child, but Annie Tees died. The court heard that Mary Ross had suffered from ill health for some time and had lately given way to drink. She had been the wife of a corporation worker and had been married for 8 years. Her husband said that Mary Ross had not been in good health lately and had occasionally given way to drink. He said that on Monday the 27th of March 1905 he left home at about 6 a.m. to go to work, at which time Mary Ross was in bed in her usual health as far as he knew. He said that he came home for breakfast between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m, at which time Mary Ross was downstairs and seemed all right, although he said that she appeared to have had some beer. He said that he then left home at 1:50 p.m, at which time Mary Ross was in the house with Annie Tees and their 4-year-old girl. He said that Mary Ross told him that she was going to see her sister who lived in New Canal Street, and that they parted on good terms, noting that there had been no trouble, quarrel or disturbance, and that he went to a public house in Bath Street. However, he said that later on, whilst he was there, his brother-in-law came in and told him what had happened. The 14-year-old girl who had lived as a servant at 93 New Canal Street said that she knew Mary Ross because she was her mistress's sister and that she had seen her come to the house. She said that Mary Ross came to the house at about 3:40 p.m. on the 27th of March 1905, noting that she had had a lot to drink and didn't know what she was doing. She said that she had had some tea and ate some fish, and after went out to the Eagle Inn public house, but came out after a few minutes and went up to the Proof House yard. She said that she told her mistress where Mary Ross had gone, and said that her mistress sent her after her. She said that she found Mary Ross in a woman's house in Proof House yard, and asked her to come back, and said that she told her that she would come back in a minute or two, and that her mistress later went out and brought Mary Ross back herself. She said that at about 6:30 p.m, Mary Ross went out again, but didn't go home and instead stayed about the streets, and then went into the Black Horse in Banbury Street for some more beer. She said that her mistress sent her out again to bring Mary Ross back, and that she saw her in New Canal Street with her children and said that another woman advised her to come home, but she said that she should not go yet. She said that she then followed her into Fazeley Street and that Mary Ross then took off her brooch and gave it to her, saying, "Here's a brooch for you. Keep it in remembrance." She said that she wouldn't take the brooch, but she said that Mary Ross threw it on the ground and so she picked it up. She said that she tried to keep her away from the canal opening and that Mary Ross gave her a purse with 3 halfpence in it, but said that she wouldn't let her go as she told her that she wanted to go into the water, saying, "I am going into the water," and said that she then said, "You can have the baby's tam o' shanter," and then gave her a silk handkerchief from around her neck and the door key. She said that Mary Ross then went up Andover Street again and asked her for a purse, and took out the 3 halfpence and said, "This is the last half pint of ale I'm going to have," and then went into the Royal Oak at the corner of Andover Street. She said that Mary Ross came out shortly after, and then went down the opening to the canal Fazeley Street, noting that she pushed her back 2 or 3 times, but that she then passed her. She said that Mary Ross then threw Annie Tees into the canal, and then jumped in herself with the younger child in her arms. She said that she then got a man, but that he wouldn't go to help, saying that he looked over the fence at the canal and then went off. She said that she then shouted and another man came down Fazeley Street and he got Mary Ross and the younger child out and then took off his jacket and then went in to try and find Annie Tees, but couldn't. Annie Tees was later found dead in the canal. Mary Ross was tried at the Birmingham Assizes on the 29th of July 1905 for murder. He was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 12 years penal servitude. She was also known as Mary Ann Tees.